Hi there, Ronnie here, coming at you with a video. How dark is too dark? I was running, I've said this in previous videos, a game using the Ultima Forsan campaign setting for Savage Worlds. And it's a campaign setting that's set in an alternate medieval Renaissance age, where the Black Plague not only has sort of devastated far more than dead during the plague, but it also reanimates the corpses as sort of ravenous undead. And I went into the setting thinking it would be, it would be tight, it would be difficult, but it's Savage Worlds. There's a certain pulp sensibility to Savage Worlds, and it tends to nudge in the player's favour. Not so with Ultima Forsan. Between the setting and some of the setting rules, particularly the gritty damage rule, the critical failure rule, which gritty damage with usually you only roll a sort of serious wound if you get to sort of 3 wounds or more on Savage Worlds. And with gritty damage, every time you take a wound, you roll on that table. The critical failure, if you roll, because you roll 1 die, the actual skill, and you also roll an extra die, a wild die, as a sort of, you don't add it on, it's 2 chances to get it right. But if you roll a 1 on both of them, it's got snake eyes, then it's a fumble, it's critical failure. Now, usually if you've got a Benny, you can get yourself out of it. You spend a Benny and reroll. But with critical failure, the critical failure rule in, you don't get that chance. If you roll snake eyes, it stays. Now, between those 2 rules, the lethality of that system went from pretty dark to overwhelming. And then there was the subject matter. Now, I admit that, and my failing on this, and it is my failing on this, running a game about a disease running rampant and coming at you at this time, I thought would have been an interesting sort of horror arc, an interesting take on horror that would have some real resonance given the state of the world at the moment. But it was a little too much for one of my players, at least. And it made me wonder if maybe I'd went too dark with it. Where maybe I should have, I don't know. Maybe I should have went for something lighter, which I am going to do. It's not the first time. First horror game I ran at Settlers had the player characters dealing with a a motel manager who they realised had lipstick cams in the shower room, and was obviously sort of perving over them. And when they went to confront him, they went on his computer and they found that he had images of children. And I didn't go into details. That's as far as I went with it. It's all you really need. But one of my players, Ryan, was a little shaken by it, and the notion of playing a sort of full-on dark horror game. I mean, I have to hold back a lot when I'm at Settlers, because it's a cafe. It's a family place. But he found it sort of difficult. Just the whole notion of it, and he doesn't feel that he could handle me going full out with a game that like Cults, which is my sort of number one horror system. And I get that. So what about you guys? What is too dark? And I guess it's a two-pronged thing. Are there any topics, regardless of how they're handled, that are a no-no for you? And what I mean is, going back to the motel manager, no description of any images, because I don't care whether I'm running a game full on or not. There is no description going on there ever beyond what I said. That's as far as I would go. I don't need sleepless nights, let alone the players. But is there subject matter, regardless of how it's handled, how sensitively or so on that it's handled, that you feel crosses a line for you? And secondly, if there is subject matter that you would find borderline, where would it cross the line for you? In a case where certain subject matter you would be okay with as long as it's handled sensitively, but otherwise not good enough. Because it's always interesting to me, because I feel that's the two sort of definitions of dark. There was the rather incredibly stupid situation that happened at Games Expo last year, where a GM who really should have known better came up with a part of a scenario that was, I will be tactful here and say that he handled it very, very badly. And I think he was rightly kicked for doing what he did the way he did it. He came out with an explanation after the fact, but by then the damage had been done, and even the explanation actually ended up just leaving more questions. And his was a case, I think the inference of what he was doing was bad enough. It turned out that it wasn't what he was inferring. It was it was going to be some weird joke, which is fine in a way, as long as you know, if you're going to tell a joke, don't tell a joke and then leave off the punchline. Put in the punchline, because the lack of that punchline caused a great deal of upset. Because without that punchline, it didn't. What was being implied was left there. So yeah, it was that was a bad situation. But what about you guys? Where's the line? When does it become too dark for you? I mean, I've been very, very fortunate. I'm getting to play a lot at the moment. I played a very nice game of Call of Cthulhu run by my friend Stephen, which was... I mean, you walk into Cthulhu, you know it's going to get dark, but it wasn't ominously dark, or sort of excessively dark. I mean, it was ominous, but, you know, quite frankly, it's Cthulhu. It should feel ominous. There should be that sort of oppressive feel of shit's going to go down. Playing in a Call of Cthulhu game now, which is a lot of fun actually. We're playing Masks of Nyarlathotep, which is one of these classic scenarios. And I've got a feeling that's going to get into some pretty dodgy shit. But it's going to be fun and interesting. So yeah. How dark is too dark? That's my thought. Love to know your views. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with another video.